Hello and welcome to another Triple Threat. I am your host Big D, and to my right, the California Kid.
Hey folks, how you doing?
On the phone, the myth, the legend, the Pike.
Still too lazy to meet her in person.
And in front of me is the man, Mr. Cowie.
That's right. How you guys doing? Great to be back after 2 years.
Yeah, we got Chris back on the show this week, man.
All right, guys. It
Going
was
there making a quadruple threat this week.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Funny how we didn't address that 2 years ago once.
For real, like, damn.
Sorry, but well, as they would say, we went through an ultimate thrill ride. WrestleMania was last week. We got a whole lot to talk about, guys. So let's get down to it. Let's talk about the Hall of Fame,
Okay.
which was
It was
Friday night. Normally
Yeah,
it's Saturday night, but because of NXT Takeover, they moved it to Friday.
Been bumped.
Well, it wasn't.
Bumped.
But let's get to DDP, who was the first to be inducted.
Very emotional.
Yeah, I liked Eric Bischoff's speech.
Yeah, a little. Yeah,
Hell,
it was
hell
a
of an
speech.
introduction.
Very.
I was flattered that the WWE Universe was chanting "Welcome back" to him.
Yeah. When they hit that music,
It was in Orlando, and WCW was big down south. So,
Yeah.
of course, he probably was going to
Basically,
get exposed
mainly in
here.
Orlando and Atlanta.
Yeah, so he basically going to get a pop here in the south.
yeah.
I also appreciate how he acknowledged the fact that if he were still alive, Dusty Rhodes would have been doing it. So that was cool to give Dusty the credit on that.
Yeah. It was very big of him. Because Dusty did create a lot of people, man. Dusty made people, man. And it was crazy.
Yeah, but it was great seeing Bischoff and hearing him talking about DDP. I was more shocked that DDP had daughters. The only child that I know that he had was his son.
Yeah, like, dang.
When
Get old flock, man.
when all them daughters came out, I was like, man, how many different mothers are there? Because if they're all from different mothers, he did a good job on that field as well.
The only people I know he with was the wife he's with
Kim-
now and
Kimberly,
So how many is with Kimberly? How many?
I didn't know if he and Kimberly even had any children. She was a model and still is.
I know he had a son with her.
He did. Okay, see,
I know he had a son
They
with
didn't
Kim,
talk much
but I
about
don't know
that.
if he had a daughter with her.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's
Well,
really wow.
back in the day when he was working at bars, he admits that he was kind of a player back then. So
Yeah.
He said on a shooting interview he had about
Pike,
had
did you
sex
know
with
about
a
this?
thousand
you've
something.
seen that. Okay,
I
yeah.
know about what?
Kimberly was. So he had one child with Kimberly.
Well, I know the son he has with Kimberly,
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
No.
but Paige pretty much talked about his stint with WCW and about how hard it was being as old as he was and getting into the business, and it kind of got to me also with what he was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very nice.
He totally should have been in there. The feud he had with Macho Man Randy Savage, man, that's one of the best trilogy of matches I think
I think
ever.
they earned the Macho Man's respect, man.
Oh yeah, Randy went out of his way to help Paige a lot, so that right there tells you how much Paige had to offer.
Well, Paige talked about Dusty, which was a big inspiration. He talked a little bit about how he was so down and he was so disgusted that he thought that he would never get the title, and Dusty smacked him in the face and told him that he should never think like that, and that's the only reason you be in this business. If you ain't gonna think like that, that you need to get out of the business.
It never ceases to amuse me how many people love to impersonate Dusty Rhodes.
Oh
on
yeah,
this
everybody
show.
can do it. Yeah, everybody has a
Everybody
Dusty
tries.
impression.
I think Paul Heyman's got the best one though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a Dusty Rose impression, man. Everybody can do it.
And he talks about Macho Man and the message that he sent to Savage and how Savage took it.
I remember when he told that story on the Stone Cold podcast. I was laughing for like 5 minutes because I could see Macho Man doing that.
Man, that's great. That's
But,
freaking awesome.
Then he talked about Hogan and his main event with Rodman and Malone. And it was just a very good piece. They showed some clips, especially when Triple H called him and told him that he was going to be inducted to the Hall of Fame. And I guess that's going to be part of the new Blu-ray that they're doing about DDP.
It's out now. I saw it at Walmart yesterday.
Oh,
It's on the shelves now.
Oh, really? They
Yeah,
released
it's a
it.
big 3-disc set of all his matches and behind the scenes stuff.
There's some
I didn't
things.
buy it, but on the back they had all of that described.
yeah. But it was pretty good. And I'm glad for DDP.
was a good
Seems like a
speech.
real stand-up guy. And fuck you, Dan Levitar, you dumb fuck. Seriously, did any of y'all heard about that interview that he did with Levitar? And Levitar was like just trying to go him to saying something.
It was
know-
like he was. Yeah, I caught some of this. He was like he was trying to goad him. And it was like, okay.
I didn't see this interview, but I do recall one where it was right after Warrior died 3 years ago, and Nancy Grace tried to kind of corner him into saying something bad about the wrestling business, and Paige later said that she was screwing with him or something. I don't know. He definitely felt bad about ever going on her show. That's for
No, what Levitar was trying to do, he was trying to get him to say something bad about Flair because he brought up how Flair talked about him in his book. And, Paige was trying to tell him that, me and Flair squashed the beef. It doesn't mean anything anymore. And he would just try to bait him to say something.
I have to look this up. Yeah. I did read Flair's book, and I do recall he did at the time have some bad things to say about Paige. But, I mean, hell, that's what their books are for, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, sooner or later they got to put it under the river. I mean, or under the bridge. I mean, but that's the way wrestling business is. Everybody's got a problem with somebody. It seems.
Yeah.
After Paige's introduction, they had a bit about Roman and Undertaker. They cut from the commercial to Roman, and he was heavily booed in the audience. Very heavily booed.
It continues, sadly.
The next introduction was the Rock and Roll Express. Jim Cornette came out and did a speech.
I think people were more anticipating his speech than the induction of the Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah.
But it's everybody thought that Jim was going to say something that would get on Vince's bad side, but I didn't really think that Jim was going to say anything that would hurt the Rock and Roll Express. I mean, let's be honest. Vince still have he still has his hand on the button if Jim Cornette says something wrong.
Oh, of course.
But it was a great speech. He talked a lot about Smoky Mountain and NWA, as Jim Cornette is known to do, to talk about the old days.
Yeah.
And it was a very good speech.
Jim Cornette did what he was supposed to do. He made it about the Rock and Roll Express and not about anything else. Yeah. I was impressed, believe it or not, that he got through that whole speech without saying the name Vince Russo.
Yeah, because he hates Vince Russo.
It seems like whenever Cornette does anything on YouTube or whatever, Russo is connected.
He takes a minute to bury Vince Russo. He always does that, but this time he didn't. But he did keep. A lot of people kept putting over the Midnight Express. A lot of people. He even talked about Midnight Express. They were all kind of saying they want to see the Midnight Express.
I'm sure if the Midnight Express does get inducted soon, I think that speech will be to thank for it getting officially pushed into the thought. Yeah.
Does anybody know of anything the Midnight Express may have done that piss off the WWE?
Well, I don't think anybody pissed him off. I think it's kind of like why it took so long to get the Rock and Roll, and their prime years were not of the WWE, so they're not an immediate thought. But
they're very vocal.
Yeah, and the WWE Hall of Fame is, to me, it's become really a wrestling Hall of Fame. I mean,
It's become more like
you
that.
honor people who contributed to the business, because even if they were opponents of the WWE for the majority of their career, that the opponent being that good only made WWE better.
I'm glad they at least included Ricky Dozan.
Yeah.
But the Rock and Roll came out and they speech was phenomenal. They joked around a lot. The one with about Gene Simmons copying him was funny.
Yeah. I love the line Ricky Morton had at the beginning when Robert Gibson said he had just found out he was going to be a grandfather. Really, being the rock and roller I am, I've got 7 grandchildren already, so I'm rocking. Or something like
He
that.
said they all in his party like,
And they all look like me.
Oh, good.
But they were a great tag team. I remember watching tapes of them when I was younger, and man, they're one of those teams that to me you can see their style filtering through the years down the road.
Everybody got some influence from that.
I can't tell you how many times I would be watching the Hardy Boys or even Edge and Christian in those ladder matches, and they would do something, and you're thinking, wow, imagine if the Rock and Roll Express had ladder matches. This would be amazing.
Well, they did do the scalping match, which amazingly nobody died.
Yeah,
Jim Cornette didn't
that was
blow out
a
his
real
kneecaps.
dangerous thing to do.
I mean, if you go on YouTube and you
Retrospect.
look at for the scalpel match with Cornette and the Rock and Roll Express, the one where he was supposed to fall and Big Bossman, who was Bubba Roger at the time, was supposed to catch him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Cornette, he slid off of Big Bossman and fell right onto the mat. And I think he broke both his legs.
Yeah, he busted. He blew
It
up.
hurts me to watch that clip still.
It was brutal.
Ugh. But he laughs about it now, so you know.
I mean, it's amazing that he didn't have like a Sid Vicious moment.
Oh yeah, that would have been bad.
That would have been really bad.
We all remember what happened to Sid.
Yeah,
I remember watching that live on TV, and there was no way to cover that, man. Everybody in the crowd knew what had happened.
It was brutal.
Ugh.
yeah.
That was worse than Stone Cold's injury.
But it was a great induction.
Yeah.
We'll move to the next one. Next one was Rick Rude's introduction by Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Still looks like he was when he fought Jericho back then.
He looked good.
I said it 2 years ago when we were talking about Macho Man, and I said to Rick Rude, it's about freaking time this happened, man. Rick Rude was long overdue for the Hall of Fame.
What a guy.
He, in my opinion, has to be like one of the top 5 heels of all time.
Oh yeah,
He was so good, and just, I mean, he lived his character so well that you thought it was really him.
Nobody drew heat like that, man.
Oh yeah, and the thing that always, you know what initially got my attention as a kid was his ring attire.
Oh yeah.
His pants, the way he would design them and have his opponent's pictures painted on them.
I'm amazed he didn't get killed for putting the wires up.
When he put, Jake the Snake pretty much like stripped him down to his underwear that one time, but that was real. Jake Roberts said, "I'm not going to wrestle him with that shit on his butt like that. I'm going to tear him off, and we'll make an angle out of it." But then he did it with Ric Flair again when he had that Beefy or whatever.
The one that he's dating now.
Yeah, I mean he would do that and just flaunt it at the opponent, but it worked. It got heat from the opponent and the crowd.
Yeah.
And boy, I'll tell you what, his son, Rick Rude Jr., there's no secret that that's his son because he's tall and looks just like him.
Yeah.
Even talked like him.
He started to get really comfortable saying those lines. I'm like, man, you might want to consider doing a little part-time, buddy.
Yeah, I thought that too.
I think they might still have heat with WWE. Maybe that's why Vince hasn't brought him in or something like that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Triple H might bring him in.
If they can forgive Medusa for throwing a belt in the trash, I'm sure they can forgive Rick Rude for switching gears in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a little petty right there to have a grudge against him for that.
Triple H is a member of Fences, so there's no telling, especially now with all the help they need for NXT. I wouldn't be surprised if H asks him if he wants to come in and do something at least. But It was a pretty good speech, and like Moscato said, it's been a long time because Rude should have been there
Yeah.
uh, already,
Oh yeah.
and he is one of the top heels in my opinion.
The funny thing though, they didn't acknowledge his jump from Raw to Nitro.
I
And
think they did show it,
did
but they
they?
didn't
Because
announce.
I thought that'd be a huge part of his legacy, but they didn't focus a whole lot on
He
that.
was on 2 shows.
But I'm glad of that because it reminds you of when he was still a prime wrestler.
Yeah.
Because during the Attitude Era, you didn't get to see him like that.
No, he was just in a suit. He was a suit then.
Yeah, because he was, but they did bring up his involvement with DX.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
he was
good.
one of the original members, even though he didn't do anything really.
he
But
was
he
was
still
just
it was
there.
funny.
He was like one of the original guys who promoted an edgy character that was about sexuality. Like he didn't really. DX played into that, which was kind of good. That Rude would be somebody within the foundation of its forming of
Oh
something
yeah.
that hypersexual. Rick
You
Rude's-
can't tell me Val Venus had nothing or Rick
Val
Rude had
Venus-
nothing to do with Val Venus.
Val Venus was a mix between Rick Rude and a porn star.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It's like Rick Rude times 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't have the charisma. As
No.
Rude.
Rick Rude knew how to get some damn heat.
But do you want to add anything?
And then,
Okay. Yeah, I love doing that great quote was absolutely priceless. Yeah, when I was a kid, yeah. When I was a kid, I hated Rick Rude so bad.
Well, I didn't like Rick Rude either, but I did.
And just the cockiness, yeah, it's just, you gotta be an asshole with a mustache like that.
Pretty sure, but
The whole style and the swag.
so like in Blue
It was
Bloods.
brilliant. And then, as you get older, you realize how brilliant he was with the whole thing. I'll never forget one of the great moments was that one Monday night when he was on both Nitro and Raw.
Yeah, we were talking about like I brought it, and then
And it was just like, not many people. I think he's the only one that can say that did that, right?
Yeah. Nobody else
Shane
did.
and Vince. I mean,
no, nobody.
WWE bought WCW.
yeah. Well, Vince and Shane.
Yeah, that's
Shane and
a
Vince.
different scenario though. Yeah.
Yeah, but
that was groundbreaking right there. So,
but I also
long overdue. I agree with. He should have been there years ago.
yeah, but
Thank God he's there now, but should have been there years ago.
yeah, and he's always like the one I know. I remember at one of those Hasbro's. I think it was Hasbro or JLN
Yeah.
figures of Rick Rude with his arm was like this, and he used to do the Rude reckoning with somebody. I think I had him and Bossman at the same time.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
I had them all. There's no telling what happened to some of them. Believe it or not, I did manage to dig up a few years ago, and thankfully I still have my Roddy Piper one because that was one of my favorites.
Interesting enough, gentlemen, if you have the Rick Rude if you were still to have your wrestling action figures with the boxes, if you have the black cover with the black box, those are worth like hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
I don't
Rick
doubt it.
Rude probably go for $800 right off the bat.
Oh yeah, once they go into the Hall of Fame, the value almost doubles.
Oh yeah,
it goes up a third.
It's crazy right now. The action figure market for wrestling has actual rare collectibles.
The sad thing is most of mine gone because my nephew pretty much took them all.
Oh.
I mean, I had to redo my Ninja Turtle collection because he took all my Ninja Turtles.
Oh man, I know that wasn't easy.
That sucked.
But speaking of that, a little off topic, you do know they're doing they're actually doing the same thing with the new wrestlers now. Because I saw that they had they're doing like old school toy with like Kevin Owens,
Yeah.
John Cena, and all of them now.
Yeah,
So I thought that was pretty cool.
flashbacks. Yeah.
And also, I'm gonna do one little rant. WWE. Why in the blue hell you gonna do? Y'all ever seen these toys? It's the ones where they had the button on the back and it has the voice of the wrestler come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they got one out with Flair and Macho Man. Unfortunately, the ones with Flair was pretty much dead. You didn't hear him. So I tried Macho Man. They got a voice actor to do Macho Man.
What?
Yes.
Oh no,
No, Jesus.
And I'm like,
No.
you can't do like some stock footage or try to
You
use
could
that.
copy the audio to files. They could have just used audio. There's endless amounts of Macho Man audio. You could get. There's so much good Macho Man audio out there.
Yeah.
that'd be like trying to do that for Ultimate Warrior. You can't do that.
Yeah. Speaking of
There's-
which, we were on talk about Rick Rude. Rick Rude gave Ultimate Warrior some of the best matches of his entire career. If you watch those matches,
Little side note: today is actually the 3rd anniversary of Warrior's death, April 8th.
there you have it, gentlemen. That one thing I'll say about Rick Rude's legacy is that he was one of the few people who forced Ultimate Warrior to work, and he made him work. Because even Warrior said Rick Rude would be on my ass.
Oh yeah. You know the funny thing, I mean, eventually he got his big shot in WCW, even though the company was reeling still during the time. But Rick Rude never got to be WWE champion, and I think that's kind of an injustice.
It is. It's sad that he never got to run
He
as
was
a top dog.
he was kind of like Jake Roberts in that his role was to get guys ready for the next step, and
Yeah.
he did a good job of it. But I've always thought, with as good as he was at being a heel, he could have done something at the very top level for himself.
I agree. He at least. I was just glad he at least won a world championship.
Yeah.
Well,
and,
his thing with Sting was awesome. I mean,
yeah. Have you seen the match in Japan that they had where unfortunately the match that ended Rude's career?
Mhm.
Oh man, it was a phenomenal match, and how when you look at the part where Rude got hurt and that was the moment his career ended, it's incredible how he was able to continue for 15 more minutes.
Yeah, it was that
and
flying
still
move.
pull
Wasn't
off.
it?
The only
Yeah,
one
Sting did his over the top leap like he always did, and it was, you know how in Japan the ring's kind of like on an elevated platform. His back landed right on the edge, and you could see how it hurt him. But he got up like cringing, but he still finished the match.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
The one I remember was I think it was at one of the Clash of the Champions, and they had thing. I guess he was still part of the Dangerous Alliance,
Mm-hmm.
and they had Medusa come out and seduce Sting in the ramp, and then that's when Luger attacked Sting,
Yeah,
and
I
then they had
remember
that thing where he went to the hospital, and one of the guys told him like if he didn't come back, he forfeit the title. And Sting drove the ambulance back, and they had to fight on the catwalk.
Oh yeah.
And then that's when Rude, I think, won the title back. Something
Yeah,
like
Rick
that.
Rude. I think that's when he got it.
Yeah. And that was
So I
good.
remember the ambulance.
And then he did another sneaky thing where he had, well, Sting did because Rude wouldn't give him a rematch, and he had to get like these girls to pretend like they like Rude, and had him give him his number,
Yeah,
and that's how he got his rematch because
Right.
they forged his signature on the contract.
I gotta find that on the network. I hadn't seen that in years, but I remember.
But that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But like I said, you know, it's nice that Rude finally got his dues.
Seriously.
On to the next inductee, and it's Beth Phoenix, and then Natalia inducted her, and was a great speech from Natalia.
Really good.
They do look like sisters.
They do
They
kind of.
they do look like sisters.
When they were standing there
They
beside
do,
each other, I was like,
and
wow.
when they were together, I loved them together when they were wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what were they called?
The Divas of Destruction.
Yeah.
I just loved that group.
Which is sad because back then they didn't really have that many women wrestlers who could wrestle
Yeah.
and would sell and make the thing work. I mean, a lot of people would say, well, Lay Cool was there and that's how they had the table match, but let's be honest, Lay Cool wasn't really that good.
No.
She was good.
It's really a shame.
Listen, did they ever really wrestle each other? Did they,
Who?
Beth and Natalia?
They went at it
I think they did one time.
One time.
Like,
Yeah.
they never really did have a feud, did they?
No.
No, not that I remember.
But if it was done today, because you got women like Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Sasha, Mickey, it would definitely work because you got more women now. And
Oh man, they would have been.
My-
They would have been so over.
My girl Paige is missing out on all of it too, man.
Yeah.
I'm still in love with Paige, man. I'll tell you, it hurts
still-
me that she's missing out on all this. ridiculous.
Yeah,
Gosh, she should be in
now
there.
she's happy.
Yeah, she's happy.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm happy that she's doing fine. I just
But man,
can't tell you how much I wish she was still in
the
the
match
ring.
we could be seeing, she was there.
Yeah.
She was.
Well, at least she didn't offer so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys got off on her.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Edge.
Well, I mean, you can't knock Edge. I mean, he had Lita and he
Why the hell
got
not?
Bill. And, I mean, it's.
Adam
You can't hate
Copeland.
on him.
Adam Copeland.
But Beth came out and she pretty much thanked a lot of people. She thanked Molly Holly, another woman that should be in the Hall of Fame.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Like, how's she not in there?
She thanked most of everybody. She worked Candice Michelle, who was there with Christy Hemme, still sexy as fuck.
I agree.
She thanked Lake Cool. She also thanked China, which got a big pop from the crowd, which I'm pretty
I
sure.
was shocked China didn't get inducted this year. It's usually right after they die that they get inducted.
Well, they're gonna wait a little
But,
while on that.
yeah,
They're gonna let that one.
I give it about a year or two.
Which
Yeah.
probably
About 2
got
years.
under Triple H's skin a little bit. Then they had a little shout out to Edge, and what was that guy's name? Came out and did his ratings.
Oh my! I can't remember his name, but man.
Neither can I. If I heard it again, I would know.
I love how Edge was cracking up the whole time at that.
And he could. I guess he didn't want to take the shine off his wife because he wouldn't stand up with his dog.
Yeah, when he didn't stand up, I'm like, what are you doing here, Edge?
Yeah, but I'm like, dude, you can't pick up your daughter and stand at the same time.
Just for a few seconds.
Just
He didn't want to take. I don't think he want to take away from her moment. He just.
Well,
wanted-
he is the ultimate
I can respect
opportunist.
that. Yeah.
Well, he is the ultimate opportunist.
opportunity.
But it was a great speech by Bev, and it's not that a lot of people were saying like, did she deserve to be in there? It's not that we don't think that she didn't deserve to be in there. It's just that you would think they would put somebody in before her.
That's
Yeah.
what I was saying a couple years ago when
probably my favorite female wrestler of all time, and I'm glad she's there. But I agree, like that. I would have. There's a few others I would have put before, like Molly Holly or Victoria.
Or Ivory. Why not Ivory?
And,
she's got bad blood with the company right now.
Really?
Ivory does.
Tina Ferrari?
Mm-hmm. Or not so much the company, just with Triple H.
Oh, damn.
It's kind of hard to believe since that photo came out with her hugging Triple H.
That may have, I don't know, maybe it's under the bridge now. I just don't. Last I knew, she didn't.
She did have
a lot of
heat
nice
with them,
things to
but-
say
Well, she
about
did talk a lot of stuff about him on her shooting interview.
him. Yeah,
She-
that's
she
where I saw
trashed
a
him.
majority of it. Yeah.
She trashed
But
him.
But I agree though, but they should have waited a while. See, like that's what I said when Edge went into the Hall of Fame. It's like it's too soon that it happened so fast. I almost forget he's in there.
I'm saying you're talking about putting the Glamazon in after people like
Tony Chim.
Jacqueline?
Tony Chon, that's the guy.
Tony Chim.
Yeah.
But
really was kind of, and then not going to be honest, I am kind of bummed Christian ain't in there.
the sad thing, the only time Chris is gonna get in there is when they induct both Edge and Christian in there.
As a tag team, yeah.
No, they won't. Not
I
with
mean,
Vince.
I have a problem that Coco Beware is on there, but not Christian.
Why does everybody hate on Coco Beware?
I've been saying names of people who ain't on there yet, but Coco Beware.
Anybody ever seen that video where Coco Beware shot on this kid?
Yeah, I saw that one. But seriously, why everybody hating on Coco? Coco didn't do nothing to nobody.
He was the ultimate jobber.
He was the jobber. That's hilarious. God.
He took the first tombstone in history.
Yes, he took the first tombstone. Coco Beware got tombstone, man.
Yeah.
But she thanked her daughter, and that was pretty much it. Oh yeah, she did.
Like, even with a tiny bit of hope, she will, at least for one match, come back.
I hope so.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Oh yeah, she did give a shout out to Santino.
Oh yeah, Santino Morella, yeah.
Yeah.
But then we go.
I really did. I love that storyline. I actually really did like that storyline.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a big smash couple, but it worked, you know.
Yeah.
Next, they did the Warrior Award with Eric LeGrine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this thing that they're doing every year now with that Warrior Award. It really
David.
is.
Yeah,
It's a good
he seems like
variety.
such a great
Yeah,
kid, and
but
it's
still,
unfortunate that happened so many,
yeah.
making a great cause.
Look,
He seemed like he seemed like a really smart kid.
look. I don't have a problem with what they doing with the Warrior Award, but at least kind of do it halfway. You can do it for charity and all that, but also do it the way Warrior wanted them to do it, and incorporate the people.
You talking about for the production crew?
Yeah,
Yeah, that I do agree
I
with.
absolutely agree with that. I thought
Yeah.
they would have started doing that. Like, give it to a guy who's on the road all the time, or someone who fixes the lights.
Yeah.
The first production guy or behind the scenes, whatever you want to say, who needs to be into it is Jim Johnson.
Yeah,
The guy
Jim
who creates all
Johnson.
the music.
Jim Johnson.
You ever
man.
seen behind the scenes of how much work that guy does? It's incredible.
It is ridiculous how he's not done it.
I mean, he still works for him, so maybe when he
the
retires,
great
they will.
songs that man's written.
He's one of the reasons why the company got so popular.
Oh yeah, he comes up with everybody's music and the theme to the pay-per-views.
mm-hmm.
Never understood it.
But next we go into the Teddy Long's induction by the APA, which was awesome to see.
APA, man,
That was
anytime
great.
they get on the stage, they steal the momentum.
Teddy Long story. That was a good one, boy.
Yeah.
Teddy, boy. Oh, God. They say he was cheap, man.
They made sure to let the world know that, didn't they?
Yeah. Teddy was cheap. Teddy, I'm sure everybody got a Teddy Long story. Teddy used to manage the Undertaker, boy. Like, cheap. Teddy, that's why he always says the Undertaker, because he knows the Undertaker.
Yeah. Teddy came out and pretty much talked about his career, talked about his time in WCW. He thanked his wife, his son, had a story about his...
back in WCW, my grandmother called him a peanut.
Wow.
It's like, there's that dang little peanut.
Well, when you're standing in the middle of Ron Simmons and Butch Reed, you don't look anything.
I didn't even know his real name for years. I really thought his name was Peanut.
Peanut. The Peanut. He had that, man.
It was like, Teddy Long.
Oh my God, he looked so weird when he had that perm going, man. What was up with the perm, bro? That perm was like, it was like an incomplete perm. It was like just little strands coming down. I'm like, what the hell is that? It's like freaking, oh man, even Parsons didn't have such weird hair. Iceman Parsons has such weird hair, and I liked Iceman Parsons.
Yeah. But good to see Terry Long getting inducted finally. And the bit at the end was just hilarious with him saying that they're going to be in a tag team match. And
how many times did he announce that on SmackDown? It was going to be a 6-whatever tag match.
A lot.
A ton.
I didn't really feel like at first it was a lot, but then you realize, like, oh yeah, he did that a lot, didn't he?
He is the king of tag team matches. It's going to be a tag team match.
And then he goes, holla, holla, holla.
Holla, 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 brother.
My best memories of him were watching tapes when he managed Doom, and he'd be like, "Homie, don't play that," or something like that.
Homie?
The White Cracker Challenge, White Boy Challenge.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know.
And then what was the other one? When the wrestlers tried to dance like him, and then
Oh yeah. I wasn't watching much of that time.
Oh.
the Edge, Kane.
Yeah.
He had the longest tenure, too. And then I think the McMahons really liked him because he was up there just having fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's been around a long time. He deserved it, and on every level.
Oh, yeah. He's been in the game he was doing it before I was born.
Yeah. But last but not least, we have Kurt's induction to the Hall of Fame, which was done by John Cena, who got a huge boo at in Orlando. And one I thought was funny as hell that Miz got the biggest pop.
Oh, they love Miz now.
There.
Yeah.
Miz is over right now.
And but John Cena ducked him, and then Kurt came out and pretty much went down memory lane of all this funny stuff.
Yeah.
The cowboy hat, when he got his head
That was
shake.
such a great speech.
Yeah. He had the old wig and
The wig.
what do you call it?
Some people forget,
The ear covers.
Yeah, the wrestling.
wrestling. Yeah, wrestling
with
gear.
the great athleticism he showed. People forget he actually is very, very funny.
Yeah.
Like, he's a funny dude. Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
think that had a lot to do with his success. Him
He had a good
willing
sense
to
of
throw
humor.
himself out there and make fun of himself. I mean, who else is gonna wear a little cowboy hat like that?
Yeah, he pretty much said that he really did not want to wear that.
But it was cool though to see Kurt Angle come back because I remember for a long time he had a lot of trouble.
And then you
And
got that
I'm
all the
just glad
funny
he was
skits
there.
with him and Edge and Christian.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They showed the one where Edge was holding up the signs and had something like "You suck."
Yeah, that was great.
It's funny. It's funny how when his music plays, everyone still chants "You suck," but they're applauding.
Yeah, it's a sign of respect.
That's just the traditional thing to do.
It's a sign of respect. It is now.
And then I have to mention because I was watching with my wife in speech, and I guess she didn't know that. Well, when she saw him do it on the Hall of Fame, she was cracking the hell up. When he started singing Tootsie Her,
Yeah.
Oh
The
yeah.
sexy
I
girl.
mean, the
was
loudest,
great.
the loudest laughs my wife has ever done. He really did that one. Yeah.
I wish to this day I've been wishing for a long time that they would have released like an actual track for the anthology that is the Sexy Kurt, the full song. I would love to hear him come up with the full Sexy Kurt track. Come on, man! It's just he talks about Mario breaking Marty Jannetty. That was great.
I can see you cranking that up in your car every day.
Oh yeah, heck yeah! I believe.
It'd be your
Well,
ringtone.
they did have the original, so it should have happened. I mean,
Yeah, I just.
Jesus Christ, I remember that stupid CD.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They should have had it on there, man. And I would have liked to have the full track with extra lyrics. Kurt write himself. Let Kurt just make the whole thing and talk about all the people whose ankles he broke. It would have been great. God, it would
It
have
could
been
have
great.
been worse than Trish and Stacy.
Oh God,
Oh yeah, God, I remember
it was
that.
awful. And yeah, but another note, man. Kurt Angle's match with Marty Jannetty was damn good. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that. That was a classic.
I think I saw clips of it somewhere.
That was a freaking classic. They went out there and put on a dang good match.
Kurt Angle really, to me, he came in right at the height of the Attitude Era, and he blended right in for for the company to be rolling as fast as they were at that time. To have a guy walk in and really get that good that quickly, I think that speaks volumes of how natural he was in with wrestling.
You learn quick.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.